Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sports Card Advantage podcast, episode 53, beginning of year two. We celebrated our 1 year anniversary last week with our 52nd episode. And beginning year two, as always, Mr. Bunk joining me for today's episode. What's up, buddy?
What's up, man? Almost bailed.
You almost bailed. He almost left. He almost left me hanging, but decided to suck it up and hop on for 30 minutes. So hopefully we'll
little short week for us, but it's good.
Yeah. Well,
a lot of good feedback on the website this week. A lot of people reached out to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Discords, emails, and Twitter. I am Bunk if you're looking for me.
Yeah.
I am Bunk.
Thank you for your self-promotion.
Yeah, gotta throw it out there. Better than you trying to figure out ADTG. I don't even know the damn thing.
Oh, thank you, guy. You're really, really helping us out here as far as promoting our fucking social channels. You got anything else you want to promote? You selling any merch? I know you got a request.
That's coming. I did. Yeah, we got some requests for merchandise.
All right, can I continue my Sports Card Advantage podcast business here, or do you want to?
Yeah.
Are we setting a precedent here for year two that now you're going to talk when I introduce you?
Hey, you've been begging for it, so here it is.
All right,
carry on.
Sports Card Advantage business. As Bunk pointed out, the website is live. We have gotten some great feedback. It is sportscardadvantage.com. So I don't have to spell out our social media. Why don't you go to our website and then you can find all our social links there. We are running a giveaway for anybody who leaves us a review on Spotify or Apple. Go to the website, click on either button that's on there that talks about the giveaway. It'll give you the rules. But basically all you have to do is screenshot your review on Spotify or Apple of the podcast. Send it in to us. You have one of three choices of prizes, either A VIP badge to the National, B, a $200 slab, or C, a $200 break credit to your favorite breaker. Simply take a screenshot of the review, good or bad. We prefer good. And email us info@sportscardadvantage.com. We're really trying to get our reviews up and keep driving visitors and listeners of the pod. We had a whopping 3 participants this past week, so shout out to those guys who took some screenshots and sent us emails. So as of now, there are only 3 entries. So get yourselves
good odds.
Get yourselves in there and participate and help us out. We will be announcing the giveaway in the beginning of June. So we're going to be pushing it and pumping it for week in and week out. So help us out and build up those reviews. There's not a ton of news this week, so we're going to be doing a fair amount of analysis, but we'll get to that in a little bit. The 2 biggest news items of the week we aren't going to talk about because they've been talked about to death. I don't think anybody wants to know Bunk's take on Will Smith slapping Chris Rock, so we're not going to be talking about that. And then the other item that everybody else in the hobby is talking about is the flawless break where Ken Golden and Drake became best friends.
Why don't we go back to Will Smith for a minute?
Do you have a take on Will Smith that you're going to enlighten us with?
I have a take on award shows.
Fair enough.
I learned once from the great Crash Davis that award shows are self-indulgent, overrated crap, and I never watch them, so I don't care at all what happened.
Thank you for chiming in. And for the younger generation, Crash Davis is the character in the famous baseball movie Bull Durham. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend it.
Best one ever made.
Oh, one day I'm going to get you going on Field of Dreams, but it's not going to be today.
You mean the worst baseball movie ever made?
Bunk is the only man on planet Earth that's a baseball fan that hates the movie Field of Dreams. But once again, We're not going down this rabbit hole right now. We got a
I'll get
show
more responses about that than reviews.
we got a show to get to. All right. So for this week, we are talking about PSA. PSA made an announcement that they raised another $100 million to facilitate the continued growth of their organization. There is an article that I am going to read through some stats on. So they announced Wednesday that they are securing a 11,000 square foot facility in Delaware that will allow customers to grade cards and then have them immediately transferred to a vault. So this is going to put them in direct competition with PWCC and a few other services that offer vaulting. I can't see why you would vault at PWCC unless you're using it to, unless you're a regular buyer and seller, with their auction. The other interest, there's a lot of interesting parts about this. The valuation that they took the raise of the $100 million, the valuation was $4.3 billion. When Collectors Universe was purchased 13 months ago, the valuation was 853 million. So you're talking
Holy Christ!
a 6x, roughly, 5.5x
In 13
in
months.
13 months. I mean, you're talking some serious money. So Nat Turner was interviewed. He said that they are planning to continue to invest in technology, capacity, and expansion. So the other points that were mentioned in the article, they're opening their facility in New Jersey later this year. They're also opening another office in Seattle, and then they are planning their first, I think it's their first international office. They may have one in Canada, but I'm not 100% sure. But they are going to Asia. Obviously, China, Japan are massive into the sports card space. And as soon as that office opens up in Japan, it becomes a lot easier for people from Asia to submit cards. That is going to boom their business like crazy, because then shipping times and fees and everything else makes it a lot less to send cards in. So, I think PSA is basically saying, "Come get it," because we're about to take over. And do you see this turning into basically Collector's Universe, PSA's world, and all everybody else is gonna fall by the wayside?
Oh, it's definitely gonna. I mean, you've been saying for months they're gonna end up stomping people out, but geez, this is a- far beyond any. I don't want to call it expectations, but what I thought they might do in terms of their growth. I mean, this is big boy stuff here.
Yeah, when you're talking about company valuations at $4.3 billion, I mean they raised 100 million. 100 million is an insane amount over HGA, SGC, CSG. As far as what they're even valued at, and that's just what they raised for expansion. I mean, you have to figure at some point those grading prices from 50 get lowered again, because they'll have the capacity. If everybody wants to flood in garbage, they're going to be able to handle that capacity with their additional offices that are opening. So you know that then begs the question, where do we go as far as valuation? I mean, if every card gets graded again, how does that affect valuation?
Well, it'll still come down to pop reports, but how are they going to tier this? Like, if they bring it down even lower, are we going to have a declared value of significantly less
You
than the
could
fifty
definitely
dollar
have a
level?
$25 for 500 or less price point. I mean, I could easily see that, and people will then start submitting $10 cards that are, could PSA 10s could be worth, 150, 250 bucks. I mean, there was people that,
Not if there's 10,000 of them. That's going to be tough to do.
I mean, but rewind before COVID and before the slowdown, you literally had guys that would buy boxes of cards that were, had high gem rates, like a mosaic, for example, and literally
Yeah,
submit the whole
and send the whole
freaking
box. Yeah,
box. You
Yeah.
know?
Well, that I mean, if you were doing economy group subs and you had a special and you're getting $8 a card, even on a nothing card, you could almost make money or break even uh, on some of the lower end stuff.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
you're not going to be able to do that on everything now. And
any
and there and the number of people going to be submitting now are going to be significantly higher than that time too.
yeah.
You have way more people that are now trying to get in the game grading. So your pops are going to be even higher than some of the higher ones we've seen.
Well,
Like how many 2022 tops wanders are there going to need to be before they're all $25 each?
yeah. I mean,
That's a slab. I
you
mean,
look at some of the big rookies of the past few years, and you look at some of their PSA 10 cards, and they're fucking coasters. You know, it's like look at Lou Bobs or Bichettes or some of these guys that are fantastic players, and some of their rookie cards in a PSA 10 slab because they were so cheap to grade. You know, those cards are worth like 30-40 bucks. I
yeah.
mean, you know, they're worth nothing. And
Yeah, so getting back to the point of what's it going to do? For the lower end stuff, it is what it is. They're just going to collect money. But as far as value of other cards, you're still going to have to pony up for the higher declared value cards. That's
yeah,
still going to let us have presumably some lower comps on the lower pops on those things.
I mean, personally, the thing that I would love to see is them to keep it at 50, be the luxury grading card company, you know. But right now they've gone too far into big business, you know, with multiple seven, well, what is it, 9-figure raises, whatever money they've raised. You know, you're talking hundreds of millions of dollars. At this point, you can't. All dollars are good dollars, and but I would rather have them decrease the turnaround time on the $50 level. So it's like, get me my $50 cards, let me submit as many of these as I want at 50 bucks and get these back to me in under a month. And if you could do that, I'm happy at that point. But granted, I know that there's other people that get a $12 card and want to grade it, and 50 bucks is too much. So that closes the door for them. But at the same time, I don't want to see pop reports in the 40,000s. Like,
Well,
yeah,
that's the thing. What $12 card, even at a $25 level, is going to be worth it to you at a low declared value? You have to be first on the scene, get it
yeah,
back first, and put it up. I mean, that's how it's going to go.
yeah,
If you're not in that first couple months of a card release and coming out, and then there ends up, to your point, 10,000 of them. They're not.
yeah. And
Prices
then
are
I
just going
mean,
to
then
come down.
it kills the raw value. It kills the PSA 9 value. I mean, because you'll have all these people that are submitting everything. They don't even look. There's not even any discretion. It's like, fuck it, let's just roll the dice and hope. And then so you have a ton of PSA 9s, and then it kills the raw value. So then you're just buying. I don't know. It's going to dilute a lot of things, which is unfortunate. And it'll also take a lot of the competition out. You know,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because at the end of the day, PSA is still going to sell higher. I
yeah.
mean, and you've said this many times over. Why am I going to send to one of these other companies unless I'm in love with the slab or
So
I talk to them for
the
fun?
interesting part of this, SGC just recently released a $50 5-day turnaround. So obviously they're trying to do some things that are going to combat what
At what declared value?
I don't know. Yeah,
Anything you want?
you have to look at it. I have to look it up.
Because I kind of like that. Minus the fact that it's going to SGC and when it's going to come back to me in an SG slab. But I like the idea. $50, 5 days, boom. But what can I send?
I'm looking. Keep your pants on. Uh,
For 5 days, that's tremendous. $50. I mean that's your product comes out and you're first to get it up with a nice grade. That's that level.
so right now on their website, it's saying $75. I mean, I think I mean, maybe it was one of the group grades that they're getting. Obviously, value.
Oh, through a company, you
Yeah,
submit, you get 5 days, $50.
yeah. Let me see. If I'm not mistaken. Let's
Think
see.
about it. But brand new product comes out, and you can pump them all to SGC for the $50 $50 and get it back in 5 days, you'll be the first one up with graded cards from that release. You're
Yeah.
gonna pull in the highest totals at that out of anyone.
Damn it, where did I see it? I thought I was on Santiago's page, but it's not him. I mean, right now on their website, it's $75, 5 days, declared value less than 1,500, and then
Okay,
85.
well that's good.
Yeah, and then $85 less than 3,500 for 5 business days.
So on middle to slight, middle of the road stuff for 75 bucks 5 days to be first on eBay with your graded card from a new release product, that's probably worth it. Purely for the turnaround time.
Yeah. Well, for those of you, if you find it, send us an email, info@Sports Card Advantage. I think it's through one of the group grades. They posted it on Instagram today, and I just don't remember who it was. But they were advertising $50, 5 business day turnaround. So I would assume it's that less than $1,500 price point. Which, as you said, if you have a card that's like a raw $200 card and you can get it in and get it back, or when the new products come out, you buy those raw, get them in, get them back. That's one form of ways to make money.
100%. Again, the speed, the turnaround, the turnaround alone, just to get it up on the board is huge.
Yeah.
So I do kind of like that. It's a nice play by them to try to try to
They-
stay relative.
yeah, they got to do something. It's like they have a facility, as far, and they were pumping so much volume when PSA was basically out of commission. And now I would assume, now that PSA's opened up a $50 price point, their business is down, so they have people that they got to use. So I would have to think that they're going to try to keep cranking through and improving turnaround times. I don't know how much faster you can get than 5 business days. um
No,
but
you're essentially taking the order and you're grading it the next day. You got to be grading and slabbing it in the next day or two, and it's going right back out.
yeah, you have an intake day, where it gets entered into the system and the pictures get done, and then you have a grading day, and then everything gets entered into the system and packed for shipping and out the door. There's not a lot of time from when it gets there to when it's got to go back.
Yeah, I mean, PSA won't feel the heat of that
No,
whatsoever,
no, no.
but it'll potentially keep SGC around for a while.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, they're not going anywhere personally, but
no, but I think at some point they will have to shrink some of their operations unless they can
hmm
continue to innovate or do something different, to help. They have to figure out how to raise their resale value, or else they'll be with the people that are fans of the brand, and that's it.
yeah,
Because
you're not. Well, see, for me, I may not like them, but that play they're making there what makes me consider it, right? So it's going to make other people consider it too to just get in there because I mean that half of that is raising. I mean that's going to raise their some of the resale values because depending if it's new product releases, you're getting in there and getting back right away. You're going to be the first ones up there, and then everyone will be sitting there buying it to crack it open and send the PSA, paying top dollar for it.
yeah, I mean that's true. But all right,
Can't be
anything
mad at it
else?
though. They're trying to kick it around a little more.
Anything else on
Collector's Universe? No, before they stomp everyone into the ground.
world domination here?
Yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of domination, this week Fanatics announced, whatever brand you want to call it. I guess Fanatics will stay with the parent brand. Fanatics announced the deal with WWE, basically saying that they are going to take over the rights in a few years when they expire with Panini to have the rights for wrestling cards. So this is another play from Fanatics to continue to acquire licenses. As of now, they have baseball, basketball, football, wrestling. I think soccer and F1 are still both, because Topps Chrome makes, and UFC would be another one. Um, you know, I don't know where UFC is going to go. I don't know. I mean, soccer and F1 are international and seem to be, potentially too big for them to take over. But you know, it's going to be interesting in 5 years when all their licenses expire, whether or not they're going to be able to survive as a brand.
Panini, you mean?
Yes, Panini.
Yeah.
Is
So you
without.
sell your redemption cards now and cash in your Panini points now.
Well, you still have a few years. I think the football and basketball licenses expire in like 2024 and 26, or 25 and 26. So there's
Yeah.
still 3 to 4 years. But, if Fanatics can potentially grab F1 and or soccer, I mean, Panini
Going to be a
becomes.
whole lot of no logo products.
Yeah. So, I mean, that it's just a question of what they do, whether or not they try to stick around, whether or not they try to sell. That's also a potential possibility if Fanatics can continue to build their sports card brand, whether or not they'll just absorb them when the licenses expire and just make sure they keep the brands. But, how much do people love um, Donruss, Prism, National Treasures, some of these brands that are Panini brands? Do they care enough? Or if Topps Chrome comes back to basketball and football, does.
Dude, you bring Topps Chrome back to football, it's going to be a big deal.
Yeah, of
Real big
course.
deal.
Yeah, I mean, of course, Topps Chrome basketball, Topps Chrome football, it's a huge deal. Does that then replace Prism, and nobody cares about Prism anymore?
It,
Select,
it's possible. I mean, listen, we talked before. I mean, I personally, and I've said this before, Panini's baseball products, they do a fantastic job with some of their look and creativity on them, and I really like them. I never could get fully committed to
no logo. Yeah,
no logo cards, but they do a really nice job. So I still think if they don't go away or get absorbed, I mean, how can they get absorbed by Fanatics too? Like then there's no card competition.
well, I mean, that was the original plan. That was the original discussion. I mean, the only one that's
Yeah,
left is, I mean, you still have Leaf and Upper Deck that are making whatever they're making. Um,
Leaf makes some ugly cards,
yeah, I'm not a fan of Leaf at all, but I'm
ugly,
I'm just
ugly
saying.
cards. But yeah, I mean, I think they could. I mean, they'll survive. I think they'd survive with no logo stuff. But there's definitely a chunk. I mean, they survive now because it's just baseball, and then football and basketball, their products are very popular.
I
So you
mean,
take those logos away from those two sports,
if there's no, if
that
there's
changes
no
the game for them.
if there's no logos, and so you have Tops and Tops Chrome, which is an equivalent of Select and Prism, and if Fanatics can release some other higher end products that take the place of Immaculate and National Treasures, I mean, how married are people to those? I mean, Prism's only been out; it's been out for less than 10 years.
I
That
think people are going to be married to what they can resell, and if National Treasures and Flawless and Immaculate and products like that are now with logos called something else with Fanatics, and then Panini loses the logos on those things, then they could be in trouble.
yeah.
Because
I,
it's hard to say. I've only known baseball as no logo, and they do pretty well. They
Yeah,
do okay.
yeah. Right now,
But
there are no logos for like basketball and football. I mean, nobody makes those products.
no, it's
And
just baseball, and it'll definitely turn some people off. 100%. People that are hardcore football and basketball will gravitate the other way because they want their logos. But at the end of the day, if Fanatics is going to hold true and not overproduce crap, and their stuff's going to sell better than everybody else, then that's where people are going to go. Even if Panini's cards look awesome.
okay,
Uh,
I'm doing some
you're
googling here.
deeply invested
No,
there. Yeah. What are
yeah,
you
I'm
looking
I'm
at?
looking up soccer. I mean, soccer and F1 are global sports. They're continuing to grow in cards. So I'm just trying to figure out. Um, so Panini Group secures extension of Premier League soccer license. Let's see, how long did they get that for though? Panini has secured trading card deals with UFC. It says WWE, but this is from 2021, so obviously that's not true. Um, how long was the deal for? I mean, but there's still a Topps Chrome soccer that comes out. That's great product. An exact
Yeah,
length of the
it's just so
multi-year
far
license
away at this
hasn't been
point.
announced. Okay. So Panini still going to hold on to soccer. They have a deal with UFC. I mean, the WWE license, they may have licenses to both companies. So you may have both putting out product for soccer and F1 and WWE and UFC. I mean, that's a possibility as well. I don't see why, if you're one of those leagues, why you wouldn't let both companies put out stuff for you.
Yeah. Oh, maybe Panini grabs tennis and golf, and they carve out a niche outside of the major four sports.
Yeah, I mean, Upper Deck has survived, with hockey and whatever else for the last however many years. When once they lost, their other licenses. Upper Deck basketball used to be massive, and now and baseball too, and now obviously,
Baseball was the release of the year every year.
yeah. So all right. Well, we'll see what happens. There's a lot that's going to happen. Fanatics obviously is in the same category of size of company as Collectors Universe, and they're going to continue to try to nibble away and build their empire. And I think in 5 years it's going to be the two of them at the top of the pyramid, and one will control grading and one will control the cards themselves. I mean, that's I think where we're going to be, and then everybody else will be fighting for the scraps that are left behind. All right, moving right along. Time for the analysis portion of the show. Actually, before
Uh-oh.
we, what are you mumbling over there?
I said, "Uh oh," analysis.
Analysis, yes. Before we move into the analysis portion of the show, we're going to talk about a couple product releases. Football is a big release month for April. There's a lot of products coming out. We have clearly Donruss football coming out on Friday. Just going to walk through a couple things real quick with this. You have a new rainbow for Donruss, clearly gold, purple, hollow mosaic, blue, red, green, hollow silver, hollow gold, hollow platinum for rookies. Um, there are some cool products that are new for this year. So they are basically reprinting rookie autos. So, for example, there's going to be a 2017 card design with a Mahomes auto in it. I believe there's also going to be a Josh Allen, a Dak Prescott. So there's going to be some fun new cards in the Donruss set. Plus, you have obviously the 2021 rookies, Trey Lance, Mac Jones, Trevor Lawrence. You have your Marvels, you have your Downtown. So this should be a fun product to rip. From what I've seen on initial prices, it's going to be $350 a box. Each box comes with something in it. Where is it?
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Listen, no show research over there. E-
Guy,
each
blew it all
box,
last week.
each box is 5 cards per pack, 4 packs per box. 1 auto, 2 parallels, 1 insert, 8 rated rookies per box. So at least you're getting an auto, you're getting 2 parallels, 2 inserts, and 8 rookies. So it should leave you, for $350. That's not a bad deal.
No, not at all. And I mean, and I just don't know. I mean, how many people are going to be bidding on the wrong card on eBay because they don't read?
A ton. And once again, we'll put our disclaimers out there. When new products come out, don't buy individual cards for 5 times what they're going to be. If you want to buy individual cards, wait until the product comes out and the price comes down.
Yeah.
So yeah, this
I like to
month
hear a good counter argument to that.
there really is none, unless
I'm just curious if someone has a really good reason to overpay it first.
well, then
There's
send us
got to
an
be people who listen to you say that and be like, "Yeah, screw that guy.
well, we are happy
I want
to
to overpay."
we're happy to entertain anybody who has something different to say. Send us an email, info@sportscardadvantage.com.
Not advantage guy.
Yes, our website is sportscardadvantage.com. our social
Oh yeah,
media.
yeah, yeah. You get me all confused with the letters on the socials.
All
All
right,
right, I'm good
just
now.
just promote yourself. I'll worry about promoting our actual brand. All
Oh
right.
my goodness.
So yeah, you have Donruss clearly this Friday. Then you also have Prism football, which is coming out this month on the 20.
Yeah, I'll believe that when I see it.
What is it?
What when was it supposed to come out?
I think it's where the frick is it?
December.
Yeah, I mean it's supposed to be out months ago. Okay, so here we go. It is coming out the 27th of April. You also have Phoenix football coming out. What else do we have? Prism no huddle. National Treasures football will be out in the first week of May.
Okay, so definitely some big football coming.
Yeah, huge Panini one football the 20th of April.
You know how many cards you get in that box?
One.
Oh,
Hence
you're on
the
the
hence
ball
the
today.
hence the name Panini one.
Thought I could fool you.
I don't think encased football isn't anything, right?
Nah, not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Yeah, so that's it for football. But big next month, next 4 to 5 weeks. Three big football releases. Draft, NFL draft coming up as well, so it'll all fall in there with the next class coming. So, yeah, definitely should be some good stuff coming out.
Well, especially with people starving for a football product, and you're gonna drop three of them on us.
Yeah, I mean, should be plenty of stuff floating around, plenty of breaks getting going. A lot of football hype over the next couple months, and then you have to figure it's gonna die for June and July, and then camps are rocking and rolling, and people are gonna start buying again. So there'll be opportunities to pick up football before next season coming up, but I mean, you could potentially look at, guys like Burrow, Herbert, Murray, 2018, 2019, 2020 guys, as everybody scrambles over the 2021 stuff. So definitely keep your eyes open for deals and prices and stuff. For example, we looked at a Stafford rookie tonight. I mean, those prices are down 30% since the Super Bowl. So
Yeah,
there's opportunities.
the Rams keep beefing up, so
Yeah. All right, let's go to you. I've talked enough for a
go
little
to
while,
me.
and let's kick it to you, and then I'll close this out with basketball.
What'd you like? What would you like to know, sir?
I don't know, whatever you prepared for today.
Not much. We're just gonna talk baseball. 'Cause I can always just talk baseball.
All right, well
But
then talk some baseball.
you had mentioned prospect hot cards, rookie cards, what the deal is. So I know you had some concern over why Marcelo Mayers sell for so much friggin' money right now.
It wasn't necessarily a concern. It's just like it normally wait like the hype. There was so much hype when the new baseball products came out. He obviously is a highly regarded prospect, I would assume, since his
Hmm.
cards are selling for so much money. You'd assume that once the regular season is going to get going here in the next 10 days, that some of that hype would die down. But some of his stuff is still selling. I mean, a lot of the prospect stuff is still selling for insane amounts of money.
Yeah, baseball's going nuts right now. So there's a couple different ways of looking at it. Like a guy like him, he's 19, so he's not making a major league impact this year or next year, most likely, unless you can't keep him down because he's that good. He just the video circulating a couple days ago in a simulated game, he hit a absolute bomb off Nathan Evaldi. So that was making the circuits around social media. So people really hopping on him, actually seeing him homer off a major leaguer for the first time. But yeah, I mean, I personally have a problem buying. I mean, if I had all that kind of disposable money, sure, I'd buy into some of these hype on some of these big guys. But I can't see myself spending hundreds and thousands on a 19-year-old because they're a prospect till they're not a prospect. Prospects go south real quick sometimes. So another guy you had mentioned, another guy like Jordan Lawler, very D-backs, very highly regarded prospect. But then I look at him and He played 2 friggin' games of rookie ball last year, and then he was out for the year with shoulder surgery. Uh, so as quick as he was out for the year with an injury, so could one of these other guys. So uh, my focus is more on. I decided I was looking at who is going to be potentially winning an opening day gig that's in the top, the MLB top 100 prospect list, and
Okay.
who's going to be more of a midseason call up. Because I think your midseason call up guys, once they don't make the big squad coming north, I think they'll go into a little bit of a lull if they're not in the category of just came out. Like the new big name from 2022 Bowman now is Khalil Watson. So if you look, you'll probably see those coming across your eBay searches.
Ka-
His cards are through the roof now.
Khalil Watson. Is that
Khalil
what that is?
Watson, he's on the Marlins, yeah.
Okay.
So every Bowman new product that comes out, you got a couple names that are just these highly touted superstars, and they're going to sell for thousands of dollars before you. Sometimes even before they see a pro at bat. But anyway, getting back to the guys that are actually going to play in the big leagues this year for potential. People thought Adley Rushman, catcher's top prospect, would be up. I thought he'd break camp and come north, but he's got a little bit of an injury, so I think they shut him down a little bit. And I think now they'll take that opportunity to send him to Norfolk and say, okay, and if they can delay his major league service time by bring him up at that May 15th date, like the Rays did with Wander, they might do that. But it's going to be tough to keep him down there because the dude just rakes. But Bobby Witt looks like he's coming. Bobby Witt looks like he's going to be on the Royals, and it's too late to buy Bobby Witt cards. So
Well,
don't bother.
before we move on to Bobby Witt, I'm just looking up a quick Adley Rushman and card ladder 2019 Bowman draft Chrome batting PSA 10 going for 112, pops already over 2,000 on that. It's been pretty flat, I guess you could say, for the last year and change. Bounced between 160 and 100. His auto, on the other hand, his Chrome draft picks auto, selling for 1,100 on a PSA 10 and pop 88. His PSA 9 a little bit more reasonably priced at 415. Pop is only 65.
Yeah, so these guys are already too high, but at least I'm looking. If you're looking for a short play and you have the money on some of the names I'm about to rattle off, you get in now. They're going to make the team. The hype of making the team, people seeing they're not going back to the minor leagues, and they have some early success is where you capitalize.
Yeah, Bobby Witt, on the other hand, has gone from 140
Bobby Witt is untouchable right
to 285. It's doubled since November on his 2020 Bowman Prospects Chrome PSA 10.
Yeah, and he's hitting in this spring. You're not you're not seeing that card die off unless it goes over 40 in the first weeks of the season, and even then, it's not going anywhere. A couple other guys to look at though, if you want the name you might not have heard of, but that have you seen the 6'7" shortstop the Pirates have, sir? O'Neal Cruz.
Who are you asking?
You,
No,
the
I
non-baseball guy.
haven't seen it. That's like,
I
hey,
don't know how you play shortstop at 6'7", but the guy can absolutely the guy hits freaking bombs. And he's head and shoulders better than Cole Tucker and Kevin Newman. So I don't know if he'll break camp, but he'll be. I think he'll be up early with them. He's a guy to
which
keep.
which card would I be looking at for O'Neal Cruz?
You're not looking at any of these cards, guy. They're all fortunate. But if you want to look up O'Neal Cruz, it's misspelled. Believe it or not, his 2016 Bowman Chrome. His name is Oneil, but on the card it's spelled Oneal. So, but you're not slipping any by the goaltender there by finding a misspelled O'Neal Cruz rookie card. They're all selling for a fortune.
Okay, so in other words, don't buy anything O'Neal Cruz.
No, we're just talking baseball prospects, guy. I'm telling you just blanket statements on what you can do and what you can't do right now. I'm not showing cards.
Okay, so what am I doing with O'Neal Cruz? Are you just fucking, having your
I'm
own?
giving you an overview of who in the top 100 is probably going to be up with a big squad early, and then we'll go over a few names who's going to come up mid-season. If you listen to the intro,
I did listen to the intro, but the whole purpose of what we talk about is hobby relation to the hobby. So
yes,
what I would like then is a buy or don't buy because price too high. So if you hear the name O'Neal Cruz, don't buy because the price too high, or if you hear the name blah blah blah, whatever it is, like still room to grow.
yeah, that's not what we're doing right now.
Well, I don't need
You're
your
missing the boat.
I don't need your analysis on fucking baseball
It's
prospects.
not
I
now.
need
It's
your
generalizations of guys that are gonna come up, and you're gonna see that initial jump. Like the two main guys I would look at right now who still have non-first Bowman value jumps ahead of them, in my opinion, are Riley Green and Spencer Torkelson of the Tigers. I
yeah.
believe both are gonna make the Tigers right out of camp. With their signings, they actually should be a decent squad, believe it or not. But Riley Green and Spencer Torkelson, their first Bowmans. Here you go, sir. Don't buy them right now. But they both have Bowman's best cards and some other products where their prices are reasonable. And this is a blanket statement across the board. Go check them out. And once they make the team and the season gets going, you're gonna be able to sell all of them. Every single one of them will pop without having to go and spend a fortune for the first Bowmans.
All right. Thank you for relating it back to the
Well,
sports
that's what I
card
was doing
hobby.
the whole time, guy. You just didn't let it flow.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me.
You didn't let it flow. I
Excuse
told
me.
you. I told you, sir. Once we get into the season, I'm going to have a very detailed minor league report, and I'll hit on all specific cards for you.
All
But
right.
these top prospect guys, everyone knows them. Everyone knows them, and the prices are up where they are. So you can only do what you can do with them.
I'm holding my breath starting now for the minor league report that you're
Minor
going to
league
be
report,
coming out
dude.
with.
My minor league report is going to be pristine.
All right. We have a
Well, I,
website
I
now.
look at more minor league box scores than I do major league box scores
We
sometimes.
have a website now that you can make content and put it on a website for people to see as well. So if we don't want to bog people down with 8 hours of minor league prospect content, you can put that on the website and people can go read it or watch it.
Base, true baseball fans like minor league baseball content.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. The seven of you can all
On the
watch your
pod.
videos on
Get out of here. Get
YouTube.
out of here. And then a couple midseason guys to keep an eye on who I think their prices. I mean, everyone knows Julio Rodriguez, but he's still 21. He's raking in the spring. I don't think they're bringing him north. They're going to keep him down for a while. So I think some people be disappointed he didn't come up right away. Although his prices are relatively high right now, I think that lull when he gets sent down and until he comes back up, I think there'll be a little drop. And I would highly follow a lot of his cards during that period before he will potentially make his major league debut later this year. So Julio Rodriguez for sure. I've been loading up on him. And another thing I've been looking at, and I do with a lot of guys, I keep saying their first Bowmans are too expensive. Another play, if they have in the regular Bowman product, if they have their first Bowman in the first Bowman release, and then later that year Bowman Draft comes out, and they'll also have a card in Bowman Draft, right? But it won't have the first Bowman logo on it because obviously it's in the other product. But it's still the same year card. I've been trying to load up, and I did it with Wander last year on that draft card because it's typically overlooked at first, and then when the hype comes and they get called up, it kind of just rides the coattails of the first Bowman, and you get some good pop on that. So I mean, I must own 20 or 25 of Julio Rodriguez draft refractor from not his first Bowman. I wish I had his first Bowman 25 of them, but you make the lower play on the draft card from the same year, and it's gonna fly. It won't sell for like the first ones, but it'll ride up quite a bit. So to take a look at that 100%, if they're in the first release of Bowman and they're going to have a secondary card in Bowman Draft, you can always find those for much cheaper, and people tend to still snatch them up.
All right. Awesome.
And then I don't know, you want another guy, sir?
Yeah, throw them out there.
You want another guy? How about a couple pitchers? Couple
I
pitchers.
mean, it goes against your fiber of pitchers
Nah, I hate buying
aren't good
pitchers.
in the hobby, but go for it.
Nah, pitchers are you got in breaks and you stuck them in a box for 4 years, and now you're pulling them out and checking it out and seeing what you got. But the top pitching prospect, and I've spoken about him before, Grayson Rodriguez with the Orioles. I think he'll be up later this year. I mean, he's the number one pitching prospect. As close to a can't miss as you can get. So he's someone to keep an eye on later this year. And the Nationals pitcher Cade Cavalli led the minors last year in strikeouts. So he's another guy I'm keeping an eye on. Because he's probably only an injury or two away from making his debut this year as well.
All right. Just a little taste of the upcoming Bunk minor league preview for cards.
I could do all day on that guy.
Well, we're only going to give you a certain amount of time per episode, and then
Well, yeah,
otherwise you
I'll
can
pick a guy
make
or two and give you a specific card to make sure you're happy.
yes, please. And then the rest of it, You can record as much content as your heart desires, and we will put it on the website for you.
All right, hey, thanks, man.
We'll give you Bunk's Corner, and you can talk about whatever you want. We'll sell I Am Bunk T-shirts and all that fun stuff for you.
Oh boy,
Do you want to put your face on a shirt?
I do not. Not at all.
All right. All right. So we're going to close out with basketball. NBA playoffs start in basically 2 weeks from Saturday. Top five guys who are MVP, basically in the running for MVP, are all going to make the playoffs. So we're going to do something similar to our minor league segment and walk through some players and let you know whether or not their card prices are too high or whether or not there's opportunities there. Start with Joel Embiid. Embiid is interesting. Yeah, everybody is anticipating the 76ers going deep into the playoffs. Some people have them as potentially winning the championship. Now that they have Harden and Embiid stuff, at least on his Prism 2014 Prism base PSA 10s, these cards have gone from 178 back in mid-December all the way up to $500 mid March, and then have come back down. Last couple sales were in the 390 to 410 range. I mean, there's still room here, but you are definitely playing with fire. There's previous lows on these cards back in 2020 in that same like 180 to $200 range. So for whatever reason, the 76ers get bounced early. You're gonna be screwed. This card hasn't been. Some of the other guys, they've been flat for the last year, 8 months, whatever it is, and this card has jumped significantly. So basically, this card, if you buy it now, or any Embiid, if you buy it now, you're gonna go as far as the 76ers go in the playoffs. An interesting play, if you have the money, is the Embiid Silver PSA 9. Let me see. Give me 1 second here. Yeah, the Silver PSA 9 last sold for $560. The pop on this is super low. It's less than 100, and $560 obviously is affordable. If you look at his silver prices, at least let's say the BGS 9.5, as far as at least that I have charts on, last BGS 9.5 sold about a month ago for $910, with prices hitting $3,000 on these cards. So you haven't seen as much growth on the silver nines. So if you can get your hands on one, I believe there is one up now on eBay for a decent price in that like $500 to $700 range, and it could be something real interesting to hold on to through the playoffs. If they go deep in, or heaven forbid win the title, you're definitely gonna be looking at big money for that card. Second on the list, we have good old Steph Curry. Interestingly enough, we're looking at the 2009 tops. Just tops Steph Curry. His PSA 10s are $7,500. Not even gonna look at those. PSA 9s are $1,800. These cards have been going down. Surprisingly enough, they were roughly around $3,000 in December, and last sales are in the 1890s. An interesting play for Curry would be to basically try to find raws that are in decent condition. Raws are going anywhere from $500 to $700. PSA 9s going for $1,800. PSA 8s are going for $900. So if you can get one for less than $700, $750, send it in, roll the dice. If you can get the 9, you obviously get paid. If you get the 8, you can break even. If you look at the PSA 10, the PSA pop report, the gem rate on these are terrible. But if you look at the 8s and 9s, those are predominantly what is coming back from these cards getting graded. So if I was going to do anything for Steph, I'd be looking for Steph raw. in decent condition, and trying to submit it and flip it that way.
Yeah, you're just running the risk you might not get it back before the end
Um,
of the play because you can't go $50 level with that card.
yeah, you can. I mean, if it comes back at
Uh,
nine, if it comes back at
yeah, you're
nine, you're fine because you're gonna
and
get
if it comes,
paid.
yeah, if it comes back at 10, you don't care. You're
Yeah,
good.
if it
Yeah.
comes back at 9 or 10, you don't care because if you paid 750 and you can get 2 grand for it, you obviously take that. And if $50 level, um, it's 9.99 and
5
under.
weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's five. So yeah, an update for all those that we've been talking about our first PSA $50 submission. We submitted. What was it? We sent it on the 28th.
Yeah, they received it in February. They didn't enter it into their system until March 2nd.
So we sent it the 25th or 26th of February. They received it the 28th. We got our grades this week and are anticipating delivery tomorrow. So you're talking 25th of February to 31st of March or 1st of April, whatever it is. So it's about 5 actual weeks, which is 25, 28 business days. I'll take that all day long for PSA $50. So that is
Absolutely.
actual our experience. 5 cards, got them in, got them graded. All right, moving right along for the next on the list. Let's look at some Jokic.
Denver's playing well.
Yeah, Denver is playing well. Obviously Jokic is doing his thing. His cards have been relatively flat for the last year and change.
Did he
Not
not win the MVP last year?
He did win the MVP last year.
Wow.
So we're looking at 2015 Prism PSA 10s. July these were 5 to 600, and last few sales 5 to 600. They've fluctuated a little bit here and there, gone down, gone up, but they've been relatively flat. And
Pop's reasonable.
pop 718, so
Wow.
it's not
Okay.
bad. The PSA 9 on this is $195 with a pop of 1185. This has climbed actually. Back in December, they were selling for 112 as the low. Last few sales here, 195. I mean, it's only $80, but if you look at percentage wise, you're talking 75% increase. So that's definitely a big move. But at the same time, these cards are selling as high as $500 to $600 at one point. So once again, Nuggets make a run into the playoffs. That could mean his cards go up. I'm trying to look if Jamal Murray is coming back. No timetable set for his return. He's out indefinitely. Okay, so no, it looks like Murray was originally supposed to be back for the playoff run, and now there's no update on whether or not he's going to play. So, unfortunately, it looks like Jokic will be on his own. Don't know if Denver's going to be good enough to make a deep run into the playoffs, without some of their other guys, but we'll see. There are opportunities there. PSA 9 silvers going for 725. These cards are pretty reasonable raw. They have decent gem rates. Also something to keep an eye on if you can snake one. Silver prices have been also relatively flat since June, July. Okay, who else we got? Giannis. His base stuff is expensive. 2013 Prism base PSA 10 sold for 1503, pop 2700 on this. Also relatively flat since June. There's not. I mean, I don't know. I didn't find a whole lot of plays for Giannis that are reasonably priced. Even his PSA 9s are $650. And, unfortunately, if you're looking at anything raw, if it's in good condition or if it looks like it's in good condition, people are overpaying for it. So there's not a whole lot of plays, in my opinion, on Giannis stuff right now. And then last but not least, Chris Paul coming in at number 5 in the current MVP projections. Paul is interesting also. His stuff's been flat since July, selling his 2005 Topps Chrome PSA 10 Pop 295, $600 to $700 back in July of 2021. Last sale 615.
That's a card you've highlighted before, I believe.
Yeah, we've talked
I
about
remember the low pop on that one.
Yeah, we've talked about Paul. The card that I highlighted was the Topps Chrome PSA 9. Last sale on that's $180. So definitely affordable. Sold as high as 750 back in 2021. I mean, the pressure's on Phoenix. They're going in as the number 1 seed. They've been playing absolutely fantastic the entire regular season. And it's just going to be a question of whether or not they can go deep in, win the West, go to the finals. Paul, I believe, doesn't have a ring. I'll have to look that up. Does Chris Paul have a ring?
Yes, he's married.
Thanks. 10-time All NBA for. Yeah, I don't think he's ever won a championship. Yeah, he's not won a championship. So with his cards being flat for he and him not really ever being that hobby relevant, I would say that he's gonna have to win a title or at least get to the finals in order for his stuff to move. Because once the boom happened and then once it crashed, I mean his stuff went straight up and straight down. There really wasn't a lot in between. So I think that they're gonna have to go deep in and win in order for his stuff to really move, because it has been very, very tight range for a while now.
So all these flat cards, if we don't see much of a move during the playoffs with expected moves north, what do we make of that?
Well, I think it's you're looking at different guys. Looking at different players as far as where they are in their career. Like Embiid, Embiid is, I mean, even Embiid, I guess, is in his 8th season. All these guys have been, at least 7, 8 seasons deep. So if they're not moving now and they don't win a title, I'm not expecting, that a move unless something else really boosts the hobby again. I mean, you could be looking at these cards basically being flat, and you have to start looking at other cards of these players if you're looking to try to flip them. Low numbered refractors, autos, other stuff like that. That's going to be more scarce that people are going to want versus this. I mean, even this card, it's pop 295, so there's not a ton of them, but nobody really seems to be all that interested in it.
Well, A, you got to find one, and B, to your point, if I can't flip these things quickly during the playoffs, if I'm going to buy anything from the list you just mentioned, I'm going to go after that Chris Paul, simply because of the population, and just hold it.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to hope that he's gonna sneak one out. He's in his 17th season. He doesn't have that much time left. I mean, he's
Is he not a
probably
Hall of Famer?
he will be, but
Yeah, well, that's the play I'd make then. That if I can't do a quick one, I'm gonna buy the low pop and I'll hold it.
are we seeing a Hall of Fame pop anymore? Like, who went into the
No,
Hall?
but I'm seeing in 20 years, if a card's that low population, you're gonna see it spike,
Do you really want
and
to hold
you're
on
never
to
gonna
a
find it.
$180 Chris Paul card for 20 years?
Well, us collectors do that.
I guess. I mean, go right ahead and fucking throw that in the drawer. I mean, and NBA Hall of Fame 2021, you have Paul Pierce would probably be the most hobby relevant, I would say, maybe. I
What's
mean,
this? That you're looking at the next class?
yeah, no, I'm looking at last year's class to see if there's any
Uh,
impact of the Hall of Fame. This is weird. It's a fluke sale. I mean, his stuff didn't move when he made the Hall. I mean, It really wasn't. When was this? What was the date?
Well, then we should probably just stop talking about basketball cards.
Yeah, why don't we just turn this into the Bunks Baseball Sports Card Advantage podcast? If you want to split off, guy, and do your own baseball second episode a week, by all means, you have the tools. Go record your own baseball episode. I'm
You
sure.
you might have a stroke if I recorded an episode and provided you with content.
I might have a stroke. That is correct. If you like, hey, dude, I'm emailing you a podcast that I recorded. Can you please put it up? I would have to fucking check my fucking heart because I might have had a heart attack.
Hmm.
Might be hearing things. All right, we're at the 1 hour mark. I have one question from the Peanut Gallery, and that is if LeBron James and the Lakers don't make the playoffs, is that going to have any impact on his hobby value? Um,
On
no.
any long term.
Yeah, no. I mean, his stuff, if you look at his, we'll let's look at something that's a little bit more value. So look at his Topps Chrome, for example. PSA 10 Topps Chrome. His stuff has been trailing downward for a while. Um, so the impact is already there, and it's starting to create a bottom. But his stuff got us. So we're looking at 2003 LeBron James Topps Chrome. I mean, the pops on these cards are a lot. The pops on a lot of his stuff are huge. The pop on this is 3,300. This card sold for as high as 5,600 back in August. Last sale 2,375. So I mean, it started to bottom a little bit. If you look at the last few sales, 2,375, 2,483, 2,350, 2,350, 2,300. So that's creating a little bit of a bottom in his market. So if you're looking to buy LeBron now, I'd probably wait, especially if they don't make the playoffs. You may get another little push to the downside. And if you're looking to accumulate or buy LeBron long term, that's maybe when I would start to do it because one of two things is going to happen: either A, he retires, or B, he plays with his son, and either one of those things should push his cards again. So that there will be opportunities for potential growth for LeBron, but as of now, Lakers aren't winning anything. It's not benefiting his long term, just make the playoffs. So it'd be more a matter of trying to find that bottom if you're gonna look to buy some stuff of his. Look for more cards that are low numbered, rarer, versus some of the base Topps Chrome, which have all been done to death, and the populations are 3,000 plus on those.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not the scenario you just mentioned, or it's not him about to enter another NBA final, what is there at the end of his career here that's going to boost his card value?
Nothing. I mean,
Nothing.
his retirement, or I mean, if he can somehow finagle playing with his son, which I don't know if has ever been done before in the NBA. I mean, if he can somehow get that, then that should also bring some life back into his cards, because they'll do father son cards and they'll do some other
Oh,
crap.
the dual auto.
Yeah, I mean that card would be freaking ridiculous.
Then I gotta watch Drake open 900 cases looking for the dual logo man of that card. Can't wait.
Yeah, I'm sure you're excited, especially considering you said it was fixed that they found the Jordans in those 86 box.
Yeah, the first pack you open.
Dude, they opened it live. Like, I don't know
I
see
know.
how it was fixed.
You know how easy it is to reseal those wax packs.
All right, guy. Well, let's calm down there, tinfoil hat. All right, we're gonna end it on that note. Sportscardadvantage.com. Hit the website. Participate in the giveaway. Leave us reviews. If you have any questions or want to see anything talked about on the show, or just want to provide feedback, send us an email, info@sportscardadvantage.com. The heck was that guy's name? There was a guy who sent us a lot of feedback for the website. It was super helpful, super appreciated. I think his name was Keith or Kevin from Colorado. Can you look up your email? I sent it to you because I don't want to bring up my
I'm
email on
already on
screen.
it, man.
Don't say his last name or
I
say his first name.
yeah, I got a nice one from a Brian, and
That's the longer one.
and no, because that one you cut to me, so it doesn't have like the any name attached. You didn't like send me the actual email. You cut and pasted it.
All right, hold on. I want to make sure that we shout this guy out just because he took the time to do it. So the least that we can do is take the time to recognize him. Oh, that's right. He sent me like 18 pages on Instagram. So now I gotta give me 1 second.
Yeah, I think that's why you cut and
Yeah,
pasted it.
Kevin. I knew it was a
Hey, you
K.
were right. There you
Yeah.
go.
Shout out to Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin.
Kevin literally just took the time and sent us a ton of different feedback about the website, different suggestions, definitely some stuff that we're going to be able to incorporate and use. So, really appreciate you taking all the time that you did to write it all out and send that in to us. Yep, that's it. So thanks everybody. We will see you next week, and be safe and enjoy. Is opening day going to happen before we're back?
April 7th, guy. A week from today, I believe.
Well, in the event we don't see you before then, enjoy opening day, and stay tuned for Bunk's minor league baseball report.
Minor leagues don't start yet, guy.
All right, whatever. Goodbye.